Good morning. I'm Al McFarlane, Insight News. Conversations with Al McFarlane today, live at the Mall of America for the A. Philip Randolph Institute National Education Convention. It's going on through Sunday of this week. It's a large organization, a large convention, large conference, a lot of exciting and powerful people here. One thing that's very unique and wonderful is the presence of young people. And my guest right now is Jaida Jenkin-Curtis. She's the youth coordinator for APRI. Jaida, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing just fine.
Welcome to Minneapolis.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope you're enjoying our town.
I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm especially enjoying them all.
Yeah. Well, listen, I've seen so many bright and energized young people, and just to see them walk through here this morning, it's impressive. I'm proud as an elder of seeing young people. Talk about the young people that you've assembled and how they are participating in this historic organization.
Okay, well, for starters, we have the biggest group that the A. Philip Randolph Institute Youth has ever had. We have 165 youth this year. We have 30 youth under the ages of 14 and 135 over 15, all the way up to 27. They are making history. This year's theme is promise and potential. One of the things that I've noticed with our youth is that they all have super big dreams, and they all have the ability to accomplish all of those big dreams. But a lot of them they tend to struggle sometimes with recognizing their own potential. So all of our sessions this year are geared to challenge them, their mentality and their physical, on what they can do and how they can be a better person, asset to themselves and both to their communities. So we are challenging them to do the best that they can within their own personal lives, and then we are having them make that promise to themselves. So we are at the end of each day, we have a session called Promise and Potential, and it's basically I'm going to pass out postcards. And so the first postcard that I pass out is theirs to make a personal goal for themselves, and then they write that down on the postcard, give it back to me, and I'm going to send it back to them in a couple of months. The second one is a goal that they need to achieve within their community so that they can hold themselves accountable. They need to know what they're doing.
That's awesome. So where are you from? What's your story? I asked you before, how come a 12-year-old is doing this important work? Just my compliment to how vibrant and youthful you look. And
thank you.
What's your personal story?
My personal story with APRI. Okay. Let's see. Well, I'm 21 to start off with. I've been working with APRI since I was about 18. I started straight out of high school pretty much. I'm from Centerville, Virginia. I stay in Woodbridge. I graduated high school in 2016 at the age of 18, and I was working a retail job during the summers. I didn't like the job, so I quit it, and I was in the house for about 2 weeks trying to find a job, and my dad was talking to me. He was like, you need to find something to do. And he was right. And, but it was kind of hard for me to find a job at the time. And so he's like, all right, well, I know somebody that might need your help. And this was the last 2 weeks of July. And he was like, come into work with me, and I have something for you. I was like, all right, cool. So I went into work with him at the AFL, and I met Miss Cleola Brown actually back in 2015. It was in 2016, those last 2 weeks of July. They were getting ready for their national conference in Detroit, and they needed a lot of help. They needed an extra hand, so I was that extra hand. I was working with them, and I guess they liked me enough. They had me on a plane out to Detroit with them 2 weeks later. When I started out with them, I was working the tech table with my dad because he normally does the IT and AV and does the cameras for the general plenary sessions here. And so when I started in Detroit, that's what I was helping as, and I was kind of doing errands for everybody, helping a little bit of everybody. And as I grew with the Institute, I was put with the youth. And so in 2017, when we were in Hollywood, Florida, the executive board came up with the schedule and everything that needed to happen for the flow of programming for that year's youth conference. And they were like, all right, here's the information that you need. It was kind of like a here's the script and follow it type of situation. And so that's exactly what I did. In the year 2018, we were in Phoenix, Arizona, and that's when they were like, all right, you can go ahead, make up all the sessions that you want to. You have a little bit more free range. And I was like, okay, great, thank you. So I put all that stuff together for them. Another young lady was with me at the time, Siobhan Grimes. She was with me, and she was helping out as well. And so we put that conference together. Last year, it was not Promise and Potential. It was The Power in You. And so then we kind of did that. And now this year, it's Scott Mason and I, and We have done literally everything.
Wow.
It has been absolutely great. Our numbers have grown. Like I said, when I started, when I was in the youth in Florida, we had 58 students. In Phoenix, we had 106 students, and now we have 165.
That's phenomenal. Congratulations, number
Thank
one.
you.
So how do you bring 160 students here? The organization pays for them, right? This is
Yes.
at no cost to the young people.
Right.
That's phenomenal. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just amazing. And so what goes into ensuring that they have a quality experience? You have safety, you have logistics, you have food, you have them being away from parents, away from home.
Right,
How do you
yes.
handle all that?
Well, obviously, I cannot do everything myself. There is a team of us. We work together. We have about, I want to say, 4 or 5 people from the executive board that help us, and then it's normally 2 youth leaders. So when it comes to the cost, yes, it's 100% free. There's a registration fee, but we pay for the flight, the food, and the room. So they don't have to worry about anything else outside of their registration fee, and that is due to the response from our chapters when they give the donations and the fundraising that we do throughout the country. Everybody helps out a little bit at least.
And so talk about why it's so important that labor, that the APRI, representing labor in our country and black people's entry into the labor movement, why is it so important that we embrace and engage young people? How does this sort of for our community and our country, actually, from your
Right.
point of view?
From my point of view, in the day and age that we are in right now, we are one of the most oppressed races right now. We are the minority. It is extremely important for me for everybody to have a voice, regardless of who you are, whatever your skin tone color is, whoever you are, whatever you are. It is very important to me that everybody is able to have their own voice because everybody has their own rights. Okay, when it comes to our specific demographic, it is important for them to know, like I said, this is why we have a Promise and Potential Conference, because they need to know that they can stand up for themselves and for their communities and that they have people around them. We cannot, if we fight individually, it's not going to work out, you know what I mean?
Organization.
Exactly. But when we stand together, we will win. Okay, so that's what it's about. It's all about team building. That's what Asa Philip Random stood for, Bayard Rustin. It's team building. It's creating a community truly, not just, oh, that's my neighbor. No, that's your brother, that's your sister, your aunt, your uncle, all of that. And that's how I look at everybody at APRI. There's not one single person here that I can't go to for any type of help that I need, regardless of what time it is, even in my own personal life. So it's important for me to realize that those youth need that same type of structure. They also need that education to do so, which is what we do here. We have sessions that are geared towards, learning about specifically the black history, because it's not taught in schools.
Right.
They take a month out of a whole 9 months of school to talk about black history, and that's unacceptable. At the end of the day, it is not okay that black history gets to be an elective, which is why we have things like this, so that it is not an elective. Everybody needs to know their own history so that we know what we're up against. You can't go into a battle blind. It's as simple
Great.
as that.
Listen, Jaida, before the morning's over, I want you to bring some young people by, because I want to talk to some of the young people that you're working with.
Of
But
course.
thank you so much. Here's what I believe. I believe Jaida Jenkins-Curtis. I am confident that the future of the APRI, the future of the labor movement, the future of the civil rights movement, the future of the human rights movement, the future of democracy, the future of humanity is in good hands. So I thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
I'm Al McFarlane at from Conversations with Al McFarlane, speaking with Jaida Jenkins-Curtis, who's the youth coordinator for A. Philip Randolph Institute. Great conference going on right now at Mall of America. We'll talk to more people in a few minutes, and thank you.